Okay, welcome Aquarius. We are going to use the Wild Unknown deck just to get a little appetizer and maybe get a hint regarding the subject matter of this reading. Okay, so this is something that is relevant to Aquarius regarding this reading that we're going to see. There's really okay, I'm going to take all of these splits out because, okay. All right, so we have some air, some water, and some fire. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera was tilted that way. There's a card underneath the peacock that wants to, oh, the hyena, I knew it. I feel like what we've got here is some energy that's mostly surrounding you, and you're in here somewhere. I believe you're in the zebra card, possibly the eagle card. There is someone in your environment or just in the vicinity of your energy that is real shyster. This person is, they're mean. They may crack mean jokes. They may say mean things. And they're low vibrational. It's coming from the hyena energy, okay? And I see that you're not even looking at them. This person, you know, may say little hurtful things. They may joke about things that aren't really, it's not appropriate, and it's sarcastic, or, you know, they may make fun of somebody's talent just to put that person down. But it's hyena energy, so it's very low vibrational. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. In this series of cards here, in these 5 cards, according to, I think it was Kim Kron's, yeah, it was, who created this deck, there are some types of animals that she calls them apex predators, and they are not ever in a state of fear because they are at the top of their food chain. In this, even though we have a hyena and a zebra, the eagle actually is the only in command apex predator in this split. So I believe that you are a bit of a powerhouse. You're not going to be locking horns with any of these people around you here, or any of this energy, because they cannot touch you. They can't hurt you. They're lower down on the chain. Think about, I know it's a terrible thing, but some people who have these very tiny little dogs, and they let them off their leash. There have been terrible tragedies because of this this eagle. And if you've ever seen the incredible footage of the eagle as an aviator, as an ability to fly, with this beautiful, I might try to stick it in somewhere in the video if I can figure out how to do it. There is no airplane or no human being, no airplane that can be made. No, the master of the sky, the master, you know, aviator is this eagle. The precision of this, when it picks up, you know, a mouse or something, a piece of food, it is absolutely precise in the way it glides, and it's just absolutely masterful. We cannot, as human beings, there is no airplane, there's no physical structure or human being that could ever have the true, brilliance and wisdom and knowledge and skill. As an aviator, nobody can match the eagle. A human being did not design this. This is this creature, all creatures, as you know, great and small. The Lord God made them all. In other words, there is a brilliance in the quantum field. It's just impossible for anyone to deny the brilliance, for example, of the human body. For anyone who thinks that human beings are in control and that there's nothing beyond it, just go to their local medical school, go into the library, and just pick out a book on the human body and study it, and how the cells speak to each other, and they leave little messages, and they protect each other, and they send messages warning of that even as a cell is being ripped apart by a virus and it knows it's going to die, it will plant, an RNA virus has to rip open the cell and copy one strand of its DNA, and so what the cell will do is it'll sneak a little message in, and the virus doesn't know this is being done, so that when that virus goes to attack a neighboring cell, it's a warning, 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 don't let this in. It's not a piece of food like it says. It's don't let it in. That is the brilliance of spirit. That is the brilliance of God, of the quantum field, and you're not separate from it. You have that brilliance within you. Okay? You're if you've got as an ocean, you're a cup of it. So that perhaps that's why you're coming out as an apex at the top. This is really, something to consider. Now let's look at the energy around you. Let's talk about the hyena, the poor old hyena. The hyena is somebody who could be putting you down, or it could be a narcissist, but they say mean things. They're focused on you here, obviously. They're petty. They could be, spying on you, or they're just too interested in you. They're suspicious, but the reason why they say things, and they, that say things that are mean, and the reason why they are petty, and and they might use a joke, for example, to get a dig in. They really make people feel uncomfortable. The reason why they're doing this is because they're resentful, but the reason why they're resentful is because, yes, they're looking at you, and your energy is coming from these two cards here. This is a truth seeker. The eagle has this incredible power, this all-pervading power. The eagle can transform karma. The eagle is also a truth seeker. That's very, very, very in alignment with Aquarius. The eagle is both physically and spiritually strong. Now, this person did nothing to, for themselves. There's some dream that they put aside. They're resentful because they didn't live out their own, desires. This could be someone, for example, who did what their parents told them to do, or who were constantly trying to please their parents even though their skills were in another profession. They're angry because they didn't. You're in alignment with truth here. Nobody tells you what to do. Nobody tells this all-pervading truth seeker what to do. The power of the truth, you know, of simply being in alignment with the truth. Because when you're in alignment with the truth, you are automatically in alignment with spirit, and it's very powerful. There's nothing that you need except the truth. So you may have just gone into this energy, or you're going into this energy. You do not have any concerns. This eagle is touched by no one. In other words, you can't put that eagle down. Are you kidding? There is no, it is the master aviator, you know. It's very, there is a brilliance behind what it does. There is a brilliance behind the way that it flies that a human being cannot do. So this is you. This is why this eagle doesn't give a darn about these cheap jokes here. Okay, so this could kind of be a narcissist. It could be a sibling. It could be who knows. But you're not concerned by this. Down here, we have somebody who really cares about how they look and cares only about what other people think. So this is images. The hyena and the peacock, I'm seeing them as being equally low vibrational. Now what's happening, I believe these are the three deacons of Aquarius here. This is the, you know, this is a, would be more fixed air. So I don't know, it could be first deacon Aquarius here. Here we have the incredible visionary, and the energy of the zebra is just the eccentric, creative visionary. It's Aquarius energy. I would say it could be any deacon, but the reason why I think it's not deacon 1, in other words, it's not the zebra would not be a January born Aquarius, is because I'm thinking the January born Aquarius are right here. You got to watch it because they're more swordsy. they are sharp. They can pull their sword out. They can cause damage, but it's usually, if not always, in the name of the bloody truth. So you don't want to mess with this deacon of Aquarius. Here we've got you know, this creative, eccentric, this beautiful energy and skill. It's precious. There is a open-mindedness here, and when you're with this kind of Aquarius, it is absolutely delightful because the way that they speak and the way that they see things, even though they don't realize it's a fresh idea. Everything they say it's original, it's fresh, and it's not impacted, you know, by other people's opinions. I can't remember the really funny quote about Aquarius. If you know, somebody says to Aquarius, oh, so and so Tom is so nasty, and he's the worst person ever, and he's got some problem with, and Aquarius says, oh, I can't wait to meet him, and not knowing, you know, we're not realizing, it's simply because of the curiosity. See, no judgment. Just, I can't wait to meet him, because Aquarius is going to try to figure out, this is interesting, you know, not judgment. Oh, I'll stay away from him. No. Aquarius is curious, wants to know, expanding the view, you know, trying to figure something out. Enthusiastic, you know, worldly, thinking in a forward, you know, forward direction. And they may, no matter how old this person is, they're young at heart, which is very important. Over here, I think this could be the third deacon of Aquarius here, because they're very sensitive, the third deacon, and very artistic. Somebody could be writing something here. So these are all three deacons. The eagle would be January, I think, born Aquarius. The zebra would be maybe January 31 to February 8 or 9. And the swan energy, which I'll tell you about in a moment, it would be around February 8 or 9 to when Pisces season begins, to the end of the day on February 18. These are all the three deacons. Now, I don't know if any of you ever saw the video that I posted, can't remember which channel I put it on, but it was either this one or Prisca Theology. I own both those channels. And if you ever want to know why I have two channels, there is a video on the Prisca Theologia channel explaining what happened when this channel was attacked by a very, low vibrational person. For 6 months, it was shut down by Google because someone was really trying to attack my work. Anyway, and they managed to do a lot of damage, but that's on them. So this is the energy really surrounding the three deacons of Aquarius. Yeah, this is someone very haughty, really looks, very, the outside image, what you do, what this person looks at when they might say, who are you going out with? Oh, I just met a new guy, his name is John. Oh, who is he? Well, his name is John Smith, but who is he? This person will say. And you know what she wants to know? Who is he to everyone else? What's his reputation? What is his class? What is his profession? This person thinks that these are relevant to who that person is. This is all in the 3D. What you do for a living, professions, these are all determined, what types of professions there are, whether or not there are boards that govern them or laws. This is all made up by human beings. So that doesn't help us figure out who that person is or what their reputation is, because that's just what everybody thinks. Who a person is defined by their intentions and feelings toward other human beings and animals. Is their soul in line? Do they want the best for everyone? Do they use encouraging words? Are they open with the truth, or do they hide the truth just so something looks good on the outside? These two people are all, these kind of people are looking over here. This is a problem energy here. I don't think it's going to affect you, but you want to stay away from it. Right? So we're going to see now if this shows up in your reading. Okay, I'm dying to know who the hyena is. Okay, I'm just going to pause the tape and we'll get the tarot. Okay, hang on. One other thing that I wanted to do before the tarot is get a what's relevant to the reading that we're about to see. Creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Now, it's interesting, because I probably should have mentioned that the eagle energy that came up, something very severe could be going on right now around you. You may be going to war with you. And what I mean by that is you're not. There may be 10 against 1. You're the one, but you know what your ammunition is, or your armor. It's the truth. It's the truth. And that is why you're so powerful. It is the all-pervading truth that has made you spiritually strong and physically strong. And I think that what's happening is something is in a process of destruction right now. And I believe that it could have to do with getting rid of peacock and hyena energy. Well, maybe you're afraid of, getting rid of a narcissistic person or a narcissistic family, or, low vibrational people who judge you, people who say mean things. Sorry, I accidentally pressed pause. I believe that what you're doing here, as I said, you could be in the process of a massive destruction of, maybe you're cutting yourself out of your family, or cutting yourself away from low vibrational people, some kind of, or maybe they have destroyed something of yours. Okay, but I think what this is, though, is a burning down of the ego, and that, when I say ego, I'm also referring to No, never mind the hyena and the peacock. They will never change, okay? They will never change. The ego, I believe, is within you. And you know what that is? Not, I don't mean that you know, you're haughty. It is, the ego is the part, is the fake self. It's the part of you that's, that could be fearful of, you know, and that, you know, or feeling insecure or feeling not inferior, feeling you know, infernally inferior because of the bloody hyena and the peacock, you know, because of these low vibrational people, these people who are resentful. And so everything, you know, everybody else might think that the people around you are, you know, often these kind of people will say, oh, we look at all, we've helped you, we want, but when really what they've been doing with their words is tearing you down. What are their true intentions toward you? Do they want you to do well? What are their intentions for you? What are their feelings for you? And finally, what have their actions been? Their actions. And by action, I mean not words and promising to do stuff and getting you to doing something in the wrong way or doing something that is a ridiculous waste of time, but rolling their sleeves up and getting out there, you know, helping you. You know, maybe these kind of people will kick you when you're down. Well, the hyena will definitely will, and the peacock might as well. But this is so what's happening is what's being destroyed here, what's being burned here is the crap that the trauma that has, you know, been building up because of the resentful energy that's around you. So you could be, you know, going to war with these. You could be finally standing up for yourself. You could be using that sword to say, look, so and so, I am not allowing you to speak to me that way anymore. You're going to be respectful. And these people will come back and they'll try to get you to try to say, oh, you sound angry. No, actually, yes, I am. You better believe I'm angry, and I have a valid reason to be so, because here is what your energy truly is toward me. You know, you just don't let these people. They're incredibly manipulative and low vibrational people. The hyena and the peacock. They can go to hell. Excuse my language. Now, so the flames of destruction have to do with that eagle energy. And so says Kim Krans. Here's what she says. I wasn't sure about whether or not this you know, the freedom from suffering. This is basically what's going on here. The eagle here when the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. Bright, radiant, you know. So, to bring this, you know, this eagle energy, this powerful energy into balance, you have to step into the unknown. So you may be doing something a little scary now, but it will end up igniting a rebirth, and this rebirth is associated with passion. And the sacral chakra, when the sacral chakra is blown out or is blocked, and what it means is that somebody your whole life has not been accepting you for your true authentic self. This is where your true authentic self gets to shine. Okay? By the way, when you've been around idiots, like, you know, narcissistic people who put you down and stuff, when those jokesters, those losers, sorry. I'm sorry to use that word around you, but though you got to know inside your mind that they're losers, okay? They they can cause your sacral chakra to be blown out literally, and what that does is when your sacral chakra has been blown out, when you've been the victim, when you've been the whipping post, and people have gone out of their way to convince you that you're inadequate or that you have a problem or this or that, and they go for the weak spot. But what they don't understand is that weak spot, whatever it is, that has nothing to do with your character. So, but anyway, when people do that, what it can lead to is a problem getting motivated to do stuff, and that can lead to things like drug addiction and all this stuff. So as you can see, I believe that there's going to be a rebirth with your sacral chakra, and this chakra, which has been blown out by these idiots, it's going to be shining, and you're going to be in your dharma, and you just have to, you got to step into the unknown as the eagle does. Now let's see what's in the tarot. Sorry, this is such a long introduction. All right, one moment. I just had a little download, and I went and found a 4-line quote to explain what I saw. Some of you will, if you haven't already, you will be doing something. You may not be in the best mode when this. How you could be doing. I don't know what you're doing, but you're hearing at some point, or you've already heard this. A bird, the first bird that sings in the morning, maybe, or it has a specific, and you are not outside at the time. You're not in that energy at all. You might be not feeling well. You might be surrounded by some low vibrational energy. Maybe you hadn't had any sleep at all, and you didn't realize, oh my God, it's 4 in the morning. But what happened and what will happen is you realize, oh, that is, I just saw 2727, by the way, so that number may be relevant. That's spirit speaking to you, okay? And I'm going to read the little quote. And that's your soul. That's your soul. You're part of that. And it's going to make, you might feel like crying. I'm seeing you. It's an inspirational cry. It's a, Let me just read to you the quote that I found. Each beautiful thing, flower, the song of a bird, awakens in our soul the memory of our origin. Some of you did shed a tear because I'm actually shaking and feeling teary. Learn how to listen to the voice of beautiful things to make us understand the voice of our soul. So that one little, I'm sorry, I can't whistle very well. That little whistle, boy, is that ever the heavyweight of that trumps anything that hyena who might have degrees coming out of their ears, or that peacock who might be rich, and that little bird that carries with it the brilliance of the matrix that designed the eagle. You remember who you really are. They're just the hyena and the peacock. They're just the map. You're the territory. All right, let's start the tarot. Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this. And that's confirmation that what I'm about to say is important. Whoa, here we go. There is a song that one of my friends was listening to the other day, and he had it on as a video, and it was Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive. The brilliance of the lyrics, there's something about that has that same power, of that all pervading. So maybe I'll put the lyrics in the description box, or I'll put the link to Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, good, you're not finding it funny, but it is, there's something related to what's that energy that is relevant. There's something in those lyrics that's very relevant to this energy, okay? All right, one moment, we'll go to the tarot. All right, so we're going to use the traditional deck, and we're going to do clarifications using the crow deck, okay? So what's the energy currently surrounding, what is the, in 3 more, what's the energy currently surrounding Aquarius, please, in 2 more? What is the energy, sorry guys, 1 more, currently surrounding, what's currently surrounding you? Oh God, here we go. Okay, I am going to clarify. So there could be a group of people, I believe this is you, and that's the energy surrounding you. So I always get a very negative vibe from the 3 of Cups, and I'm getting it now. You know, despite what, you know, the internet may tell you, or your tarot course told you, that card is not a good card, in my opinion. There's a group of people, okay, and my right ear is ringing right now. There are a group of people who are tightly knit. They don't like being alone. They're a group of people, all right, and they usually have a secret. You know, this issue, but oh, they trust each other so much they can tell each other anything. Well, the dark side of that is why is it just between those 3 that they trust each other? And well, because probably that it has to be a tightly knit group. Notice how you're over here outside the group. All you're interested in is the straight up truth, clarity, and fairness. Right now, your back is turned to them, which is good. These are jokesters. This is like the hyena. And there's one person in particular in this group that causes a lot of trouble. And guess what? She's the one in red, and she's faceless. So she starts the trouble, and the other 2. So this is probably the peacock and the hyena. And there's one other person probably in this group. Okay, so I'm going to clarify now. I'm very, very, very clearly getting who, if this isn't you, it's somebody who is pointing out whatever they're asking for, or whatever they're saying or asking. It's about clarity, truth, and fairness. Okay, and the facts. This person, this Queen of Swords, this person is cutting through the bullshit. Excuse my language. But, you know, I find, you know, occasionally I need to ask people for the truth, right? And very, very, very rarely, but, you know, because usually I know it. But there are some people that are very, very deceptive. And if it's, you know, if it's somebody that's close to you, give them a shot, give them a chance to be clear. And what you'll find that these people will do is they'll come back with the same gobbledygook gaslighting. They'll come back with, why are you feeling bad? They'll come back with some bull manure because they have a secret. They have something that they need to keep amongst themselves. And by the way, they're enjoying, they're having fun. You know, there's something that they have, you know, that they're enjoying. All right, so they are not helping anyone in this world. They're just they could be celebrating your downfall there. The point is, it's a tightly knit group who trust each other because the information is not going outside this group. So I'm getting a very negative vibe from that energy. Now, what's going on here? What is that Queen of Swords asking? What is she doing, saying, asking for, or pointing out? Okay, what is the Queen of, in 3, what is the Queen of Swords doing, saying, asking for, or pointing out? One more. What is the Queen of Swords doing, saying, asking for, or pointing out? There's 3 here. There's family involved here, okay? This could be, having to do with an inheritance or something over here. There's the 3 cups. I rest my case. Wow. Now, this is interesting. Of course, your readings are always fascinating, okay? So I asked, what is this person doing, saying, asking for, pointing out? She is clearly asking for truth, all right? Now, here's the shysters, the 3 cups. Here's the jokers, where they're right there. Here's a family. This could be, I feel like this is your family. And over here, somebody has abandoned success. Somebody has walked away, but look at how they're looking over this way. So I feel like you've already walked away from these jokers, these little vibrational time wasters, energy wasters. And what they're doing here, I don't know what they're doing, but for some reason, you're either pointing out the thing about this is all you're asking for you're asking for the facts. You don't want their opinions because you know what they're like. These people, their opinions are worthless because they're based on a reputation and what people think and what these people, they'll tell you, you should do this. They should check themselves. They're going to end up in jail because these people have no morals, no ethics, and they're hiding something. And you may have taken a loss here. You left something behind here, and that you really, in the 8 of Cups, this person, there is a sorrow. That when you walked away here, it's a shame, it's a loss. That you abandoned success, and what's going on here is, you're walking away from these people, and you're sad. It's a shame. It's your abandoning success, which means that you wanted to have a happy family. You wanted things to work. But now what's happening now is you're looking back for a moment. They should really know. They probably don't understand this yet, but they're afraid to be alone, right? They don't enjoy their own company because they're empty heads, empty souls, They don't like being alone because they don't have any connection with spirit, none. And this person is so connected with spirit because she's aligned with the truth. She feels the same way when she's in the company of others and when she's alone. There's no difference because there's no lack. She's complete. She is never alone because she walks with spirit, never alone. Now, at this moment in time, all you're asking for are the facts, which tells me that these people, you want to pare something down and get rid of the manure. So you just want the facts here. Let's see what you want, the facts. What information? What is this? And you're trying. What you're part of what you're doing. Oh boy. So this relates to something that somebody has been working on over and over and very focused on. And maybe for 8 years, this group has been doing something. I'm going to clarify here. You just want the facts here about what they've been doing or what they've been building or working on. Let's keep going. I'm going to get and if somebody's been doing something quite repetitively, there's something that has been posted, by the way. I'm looking at, so one of these people, okay, I don't always get this energy from this split. I'm seeing something that's been posted for all to see, so something could have been posted on the internet. This person is saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They're writing the same thing, posting things over and over and over and over again. The other thing that could be happening is that they're celebrating, and they're happy, and because some product is being generated, they're partying off. They're celebrating the proceeds of somebody else's work. Let's get a split for this. What is the Eight of Pentacles? That's Sun in Virgo. And the Three of Cups, which is Mercury in Cancer. Manipulative energy. Emotionally manipulative. Oh. Okay. So right here in the Two of Swords, there's something that you can't see what they've been doing over and over, what they've been working. You don't know. You've been. These people have gone out of their way to keep some information out of your line of vision, out of your sight. Okay, out of your sight. But what's happening with the little crow in the Two of Swords is that crow doesn't really trust what these people are, you know, what they're saying. They don't trust. This crow doesn't trust what they're hearing or what they're seeing, because they know how deceptive the 3D can be. That crow has some inner vision that is accurate. Now, over here, I'm going to clarify this card. There is some kind of an offer here. There's something there's something here. Let's just I need to figure out whether or not, I feel like this is something that you know, that you feel has happened, but you can't see it. So what is the Knight of Cups? What is the Knight of Cups? What is the Knight of Cups? What is it? What's going on? There's a couple of cards here. Eight of Swords. Okay, just a minute now. The Empress and the Three of Wands. We now have two cards of where somebody is blindfolded and stuck. So, what is this proposal? This is something, this proposal, I believe, has come from you. And you're with the Three of Wands here, because you're expecting results. So it's actually, it could be, and then let's ask what the proposal is. I feel like what's happening, it could be about an Empress. Okay, it could be about a mother or a pregnant lady, a Libra or a Virgo. But over here, with the Eight of Swords, they're happy that you can't see this. They're actually celebrating that you're stuck. And what's happened in the Eight of Swords is this person can't move because they feel, because they've been listening to this mental dialogue. This is all words, 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 words. Notice how these people are celebrating that this person is stuck. They have, what are these restrictions? The restrictions, those swords, those restrictions are shortened thoughts. It's called Lord of Shortened Force. The thoughts are it's a verbal, it's like a running dialogue that these people have been saying over and over and over and over and over. They've been working on, and what are they? You should do this. You should do that. But you did this. But they're making you feel insecure, and they're celebrating this. They do it through cruel words. These people use words. I believe these are a group of toxic family members, siblings, and possibly one other masculine. They're very, very toxic, low vibrational people who use words. Now, I don't know, the Empress could be you, or it could be a mother. Let's keep going. They celebrate other people's downfalls. That's what they do. And they're all alike. they probably know that they recognize that what they have in common is that they're either bullies or narcissists. And I feel like at this point, because you have some clarity here, finally you know who you are. Remember the beautiful cards that we had? A truth seeker. Someone who's very odd in the zebra card, and very artistic. So, you know, narcissistic low vibrational people often say to you to make you feel, oh well, you are very unusual. You have a mental problem because you know, you have your furniture arranged in such and such a way, or that's not normal. The way that you live isn't normal. Just know that that woman has done nothing in her life that's of any to raise anybody up. Probably even her own, if she has any children, they probably detest her. That's what comes when you set out, like that hyena energy does and the peacock energy, when you set out to say sarcastic, resentful things, to pass on their pain. They should check themselves. They actually think, they need that group now to puff each other up. But I feel like at this moment in time, they're, whatever they say, it's like little toothpicks. And I feel like you're in the eagle energy. And now that you can see clearly from above, those restrictions in the Eight of Swords, they've just fallen down. Because now you know that your true self is the zebra, authentic, unusual. Your true self is the eagle. Your talent, the eagle's talent to fly, these low vibrational 3D people are trying to, you know, it's like a human being trying to make an airplane thinking, oh, this airplane is so amazing. Excuse me, human beings, you will never match the mastery of the eagle. I'm sorry, can't be done. Because the eagle is created by spirit, and so are you, Aquarius. So, you know, just remember that when these words of these low vibrational shysters are around you, you know, it's hard not to have it soak in, you know, and so you really have to stand back and look at the forest for the trees and just ask yourself simple questions. How do these people make me feel? Don't worry yourself about anything else. Do they raise me up spiritually and get me motivated to do productive things, or do they just judge me and put me down? It's as simple as that. And I can tell you one thing. Anyone who is aligned with spirit, it doesn't matter who a person is or what they're doing, or, you know, they will always raise the spirit of whoever they're dealing with. You have to understand that these people are a waste of time. Okay? Now, let's get a split for this. What is happening? So now we have Venus in Cancer and the Eight of Cups. Now this is all about bonding. I have no idea what's happening over here, but notice how this person is just focused on pentacles. You know, they're just doing, it's a copy. They're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And what's happening over here is there is alchemy. There's a spiritual, the Holy Trinity is up there. Yeah, I see what this is. Okay, see what this is. This is like the airplane being built. You know, and it's like whoever, you know, you see these, if you get online and you look at such and such a military, you know, faction has just released the such and such, you know, whatever they are doing to assassinate people and murder people in other countries now. Whatever drones they're using to cause, to really do damage. They will have these things. I notice some of them are on YouTube now, these videos promoting how great they are at spying and dropping bombs and murdering people. That's what That's what they do. And they talk about how they brilliantly fly. What a joke. What a joke. Man cannot build, man tries to create something. It's always a copy. It's never an original. You want the original, you need this alchemy here. Notice how this is like a DNA. This caduceus here almost looks like two strands of DNA coming together. And that we all know that we don't, you know, let's picture a pregnant lady sitting down playing the piano. Do you think that she's actually directing, that human being is directing the brilliant the process that goes on when cells are multiplying, and when a child is being born, when these cells are coming together. And by the way, spiritual scientists who also delve into spirituality, they believe that the egg, the mitochondrial DNA in the egg, chooses the sperm. Unbeknownst to us, we all had this image of the sperm, fighting it. No. This isn't random. Everything you've learned, in science, everything that I was taught, it's a lie. It's a lie. This isn't random. This is not random. There is soul in every cell, and your soul is a part of that. There is brilliance, creativity, intelligence, and foresight, in which, what should we pick out of this strand of DNA, which combination, and it's called alchemy, and alchemy, of course, is all about the 7 processes that God created for the basic elements to come together to make everything on this table, the wood, the tarot cards, our bodies, plastic, metal, everything, animal, vegetable, mineral. When you break it down, it comes down to an atom. We know we have about 20 basic elements that are stable. That's it. What's the difference between, gold is an element, and calcium is an element, silver is an element. What does that mean? That means that gold is made up of atoms that each have, I can't remember if it's 39 or 49 or 59, but there's a certain number of protons in the nucleus. That's it. So when you look at a periodic table, whatever element is at box 3, why is it there? Because it has 3 protons in the nucleus. The rest of the atom is exactly the same as every other element. Every atom is made up of protons, neutrons, electrons, and God, which is the photon, which gives it all the energy. Now, what does that mean? If you look up in Wikipedia, you look up, and of course the 7 alchemical processes. Let's just pretend that we never split the atom, which is an incredibly, that's really a defiance. It shows that the world is not enough. That is the stupidity of mankind, the stupidity. Anyway, if we had not done that, and we would have had everything we needed with the basic elements and the 7 alchemical processes. Everything you need to make food, to grow things, to make metals, to make buildings, everything. To cook, to make everything. And who decided? If you look up in Wikipedia and you ask, who created the periodic table? Well, I don't know who. It's some human being. Well, I see. I'm sorry. God created the periodic table. Who numbered the elements? God. Do you know how I know that? Because element number 20 has 20 protons in its nucleus. Element number 1 has 1 proton in its nucleus. We don't have control over that. So, of course, It was numbered by God, because that we don't create things. Nothing new is created by man. I believe that's in Ecclesiastes. Everything comes from that intelligent field, that matrix that you are connected to. So I hope now when you are insulted by the peacock and the hyena, that you remember what I'm saying here. Do you really think that the master aviator of the sky, I'm going to attach a link to a video that I put together of the true masters, they are, and you'll see that they're all creatures. They're all, but you see, these are things that human beings try to copy. The hyena and the peacock are resentful because you're the original. What they should know is that they should just get in their own lane and mind their own business, because you are on a completely different level. If they want to be in your lane, they need to go within and recognize who they are and who they are. They are not their profession. They are not their reputation. They are not the amount of money that they have in their bank account. They are not, whether or not your family respects them or not. What a crock. All of that is just this. It's a copy. It's a cheap copy. There's the original. It has an infinite, when this combining is being done, there are an infinite number of combinations and permutations, and that you are a part of. Now, there is somebody, if they're not already in your environment, they're coming in. There is a match for you. This is very clearly, this could be coming in 2 weeks, okay? There is something is going to be falling together beautifully. I do believe this is. It's a beautiful union, okay? For some of you, it's romantic. I believe that it is. It's a bonding, okay? And the female energy, I don't care if you're, look, when I say the female energy, for example, with the lesbian couples and with gay couples, there is always a female energy, and there is always a masculine energy. And if you're friends with a gay couple, you'll figure it out by watching. It's the way that it works is exactly like this, okay? So let me tell you something. What's happening, the reason why this is just coming together, is because the feminine energy is not being needy. This feminine energy is stepping back and doing nothing. I want you to look at her feet. And don't go saying, you're being sexist. No, I'm going to tell you why it's good that she's doing that. And the masculine energy is moving towards, see the hand? Now, it doesn't really matter what the gender is. This is the process of bonding. Oops, sorry. It could be a rebonding, but it's a very vulnerable time and very important. It's just like, you could think of, when someone is pregnant and, you don't want to ingest anything that's going to disrupt what's going on here. It's sacred. It's a sacred union. Now, the reason why this works so well is because in every single Two of Cups, what happens is that the person who is normally needy and clingy steps back for once. And what happens is the person who hasn't taken any action, or probably maybe that guy has usually always got girls all around him, so he doesn't have to call anyone because everyone's after him. Well, what's happening here is he's motivated for some reason to come toward her, okay? And it's because the bond is just, it's alchemy, it's just happening. So this could be, this is something that's happening for you, okay? It could be in 2 weeks, yeah, and look at this, wow. Notice how, here you are, okay? For some of you, you haven't yet walked away from that toxic energy, the peacock, or the narcissistic family, or the group of people, or the hyena. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're looking back and you're saying, this is a loss. This is too bad. Yep. But let's just get away from those two jokesters. Have a look at what's in your future. Page of Pentacles. That is that new beginning. That's what this is. It's delicate. It's at the very beginning. It's funny too, because if you look at the Page of Pentacles in that deck, confirmation of what I'm about to say, the grass is also very, very short. Everything's just starting to grow, okay? But this Page of Pentacles intends to build to the Ten of Pentacles. So, I'm just pointing out, not saying that it won't happen if you don't walk away, but it certainly does happen when you do, okay? Now, let's see where we are. What else does Aquarius need to know, please, in 3? I didn't realize how long this reading was, but I feel like we're very near the end. So I just saw 01, 01, 01. I think we're at the end, okay? There's two, first of all, I'm getting God focusing on you, Spirit focusing on you, and also, here you are manifesting. You know that when you're in alignment here, this is the lemniscape, so it's the quantum field. That's how energy, it goes, everything below the speed of light, the way that energy, they call it wavy finite energy, okay? It's the kind of energy where, that we can see with our frumpy 5 senses. We can't see ultraviolet light, for example, but butterflies can. Those shysters, the hyena and the peacock, think that all that exists is what they can see, because they've signed a deal with the devil, which basically means, it doesn't mean that they signed it, that they signed up to be. What it means is that they are agreeing with the truths of the devil. What are the truths of the devil? That all that exists is what you can see in the 3D. So if I can't see it, feel it, or you touch it, taste it, or smell it, it doesn't exist, right? And they're wrong. They're wrong about that. Okay. So what's happening here is when energy is vibrating above the speed of light, it starts doing this loop, okay? And it becomes waveless infinite energy. It is where energy does not take up any space. So like if you're in this realm, I could walk through you, you could walk through me. Well, actually, we're not matter. Matter means that energy needs some space, right? So this card, this deck can't take up the same space as that deck. So in this realm where everything comes from, everything on this table, everything, every creature great and small, the Lord God made them all. Where is the Lord God? In the quantum field, where there is nothing but unconditional love and a high degree of intelligence. And you see, I believe that what's happening here, 2 things. They're aware of this. They're aware of this. They'll never give you a compliment, ever. But they're aware that you can manifest here, okay? They're aware of your connection with Spirit. You're about to start manifesting very quickly, all right? And it's because you're aligned. It's because you're aligned with the quantum realm, which is where there is a true matrix that is loving and intelligent and actually quite humorous sometimes. And when you align with that, you are never alone, and you can always see the truth. The hermit actually doesn't, the hermit is not using that as a lantern. If you look very closely, you'll see that his eyes are closed, but he still, he sees the truth. He is a truth seeker. Let's get one final message. I'm also getting, some of you may need to manifest money or something like that. You're going to do it. Okay, have faith. What is the final message? Very powerful reading, Aqua. And you did a good job with those shysters. I do see that you're very, it is a loss. But it's their loss. It's okay to feel a little bit, achy breaky about the fact that you have to walk away, but you have to. You have to. Love generates love. You will receive positive confirmation of this in the next few days. Keep on loving, and you will keep on receiving, ever greater blessings in return. Aquarius, thank you for letting me read for you, and thank you for this energy. It is always fascinating and incredibly inspiring to see what you're doing and what you've gotten over and how you did it. Well done, Aqua. Bravo and brava. All right, see you in the next one.